Mm-hmm.
Live on YouTube and
Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody.
live on Facebook.
Welcome to Life in a Toaster Oven with your star, your host, the one, the only, Matt Pearson. That's all I got. I about hurt myself doing that. So good morning. Good afternoon, everybody. So today, as you can see, I've already started to brown up the... Boy, this stuff is really, really greasy. It's supposed to be 70-20. Well, I don't want to get stuff all over the place, so I'm going to set this right there. I've never done a cooking show before. I've done a lot of cooking. Today's show, as you can see, I've already started browning 2 pounds of ground beef. And I'm going to be making homemade beef stroganoff today. Now, what you'll need for this particular dish, egg noodles. You can have whatever egg noodles you want, if you want the extra wide, the no yolk, whatever you wish. I got 2 pounds of, this stuff was chili. It's prepared for chili. So the curls are like really fat and thick on these. But I would recommend leaner ground beef than this. But it's going to add to the flavor of it. It might be a little bit greasy, but that's okay. Yes. And I don't really measure any of this stuff. I just kind of guess at what it's going to be like. So I've got some minced onion flakes right here. Sprinkle a little bit of that in there. Poof. That's not going to be my my catchphrase or anything. Poof. We got the windows open, so we know that it's going to start smelling good up in here, and going to have people just showing up out of the blue. Got some garlic powder. Boom. If garlic powder bothers you, just don't put it in. It's just as good. Now, also, one thing you will need, you can either use water and bouillon cubes, or you can just use straight up beef broth. I've chosen beef broth today because it will make it taste like you've cooked it all day long. So you could do you could use the bouillon cubes. That's what I originally started using. But I was in a hurry this morning while I was getting here, and I couldn't find the bouillon cubes. But I did find the beef broth. They were probably right next to the beef broth. Let's just face it. Sometimes I'm not the most observant person in the world. Now, you can definitely strain this meat when you're done cooking it, get all the grease out of it, and start with, hardly any grease in it. I don't have that option today because we do not have a sink up here in the office. So, we're going to use all that greasy fat to our advantage. Thank you, Dennis Everson, by the way, for introducing me. Right now, it's a one-man show, except for you introducing me.
You got this.
Now, I personally, I go great value with everything. They're not a sponsor. But to me, it tastes just as good as the not great value. Now, some people can taste the difference. I can't. I mean, it's pretty good. Now, I think I'm probably going to need, I bought 2 bags of egg noodles. The no yolk version just happens to be the kind that I like the most. It's cholesterol free, low sodium, low fat, but we're going to change the low sodium part here in just a little bit when we add salt to it. Now, one thing that you need, now some people like it, some people don't. Sour cream.
Yeah, buddy.
You have to add sour cream before you start to eat it. It makes a huge, doesn't have to be a lot.
Bring it.
And cream of mushroom soup. I'm going to turn that around. Again, great value is fine. Whatever your preference. Another thing of egg noodles. Now, here's what we're going to do. This is almost done. You don't really have to cook it completely brown because it's going to be cooking for a while. The important part to remember here is you want to let it reduce down, but also at the same time, you want to cook it long enough to where the starch is released from the eggs. so that way it causes it to be a thick, like gravy. So it looks like we're just about ready. I started cooking this about 10 minutes before the show, so that way we wouldn't be sitting here twiddling our thumbs for a long period of time. I'm going to do my energy drink right now because I haven't had time to. I'm not going to tell you what kind it is, but you can look at the...
Not a sponsor.
It's not a sponsor. Drink it as it instructs. I will tell you, I thought, oh, I can handle it, so I drank a whole one. Big mistake. If you guys saw our morning cooking show, it was a lot of fun. Jay was here. My son is in the other room. But right now, I got a wonderful assistant named Dennis Everson if I need anything from out there.
I'm good.
Now, what I'll do is I go ahead and dump the noodles in before I put the fluid in it so I can kind of gauge how much. Oh, yeah, that's going to be good. Just dump the whole bag. Usually, if I was just cooking for just 1 or 2 people, I'd put half a bag in there and only 1 pound of ground beef. Again, if you want to use something other than beef, like ground turkey, and then use a beef broth, and then use beef bouillon, it'll work just the same.
Or if you have pork, you have ground hog.
Yeah, that's right. So I'm just kind of stirring this in a little bit with the meat before I put the fluid in it. Because the biggest part of this is waiting. You know, waiting for everything. And I eyeball this because it's going to evaporate anyways if you put too much in it. Now I bought 2 of these jugs. Usually I'll buy just 1 and do, like I said, half a batch. Then you can certainly put more meat in it. It doesn't require a certain amount of meat. If you don't like that much meat, that's fine. Just put in less meat. If you like a lot more meat, if you like it really, really chunky, put in more meat. But you can still make the same amount, just more meat. And who doesn't like more meat? I'm gonna turn my handy dandy electric skillet up to get it to a good rolling boil. And then after that, I'll turn it down to a medium to medium-high simmer to be able to let it evaporate. I'm going to go ahead and fill this up a little bit more. I even bought some new wood spoons just for this, Dennis.
Rock and roll.
Oh yeah, this is going to be good. I think I was supposed to shake these up first, aren't you? See if that makes... Nope, it's good. Now there's a lot of grease on top of that. I'm really excited about this. Beef stroganoff is one of my favorite dishes. Although it's not the most complex dish, but it is something that's easy. If you've never made it before, you've only bought it in just a little meals, go ahead and do this. You can make a lot more. And it lasts, I mean, if for 2 people eating, this right here would last me probably 3 or 4 days to eat. Dennis, do you like?
Yes.
Do you like beef stroganoff?
Oh, yeah.
Let's turn this up on high. I don't want to run out of stuff to talk about.
I don't think we should tell anybody else that you're making it.
I think they already know. Shh, don't tell anybody.
Can I lock this door?
Right? Yes, actually you can, but I can't promise that people don't have keys. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and dump the rest of this in there. Now, as you go through... No, I didn't dump the rest of it in there. One of these days, and we're going to start doing more cooking shows here on Axe Ministry, Axe Television Network. Now, I know that you guys are aware that this is... What is this? How many hours is this so far?
Quite a few.
We're at hour number 6. We're halfway there. Halfway towards the end of today. Now, 6 o'clock p.m. tonight, we're going to have the start of a talent competition. It's going to be fun. There's going to be jugglers here. I don't know who the jugglers are. Do you know the jugglers?
I can find out. Give me a second.
I've got my...
It is.
Going off the screen for a second.
Ms.
Demise Soccer Club.
It's a soccer club.
That's a soccer club?
It's a soccer club.
That might actually be, is that today or tomorrow?
It's today. No, these are all today. And
Are
then
they?
the finalists are tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Not 8 and 4 of them will be tomorrow.
Yeah. I think that's it.
All right, so far this thing has taken a few minutes.
Tell us about the toaster oven.
All right, so why do we call this life in the toaster oven? All right, I live in a 35-foot Winnebago Adventurer RV. I've got a full stove, full oven, everything. I mean, it's smaller size for an RV, obviously. But you know, sometimes you gotta conserve your propane because it's a propane camper, and I don't like having to go and refill the propane all the time. So I decided to get a toaster oven because not only can you cook, like, also this is going to be one of our side dishes, garlic toast. We're going to have it smelling really good in here. I like to get the baguette bread, toast it up, chop it up into pieces, and dip it in a green pesto. Probably not good if you got diabetes, but it's great. It tastes great. You can get chicken wings, boneless, skinless chicken wings. You can cook anything you want to in the toaster oven. It's a little bit different than a regular oven on account of it being smaller, so it gets hotter faster. So the temperatures and the times may vary. I'm going to go ahead and pull up my Facebook here and see if there are any comments because I want to make sure that we're talking to folks.
I can monitor that for you.
Yeah? All right. And then there's also some...
David said hello. David's been watching the whole day.
yeah, he has. Thanks, Brother Scott. It's my brother Scott. All right. Axe Media. We got people back there trying to get in here to the food already, and we haven't even...
I'm locking the door.
Lock it. And if you're out there and you're really hungry, here in about 45 minutes it'll be done. You can come up and get you a little plate. I don't care.
Nope.
Dennis, on the other hand,
Not letting you. Don't mind.
he might have a problem with it. For some reason, I don't have very good signal up here, Dennis.
Yeah, it slowed down.
All right. Hello, brother. Hello, everyone. Marcia says hello. Dennis Everson. Hello, Joe. Hello, Joe. Joe Huckstep Burt. Joe Huckstep Burt's watching. Thank you. She told me this morning I will be watching it. This is all on my show that I'm doing right now?
Yep.
Joe Huckstep Burt says, I am getting hungry now. Hi, Marcia. So if you guys were to have us do a cooking show every week, what show would you rather us do? Like, what kind of stuff would you like for us to cook? Bear in mind, it'll only be an hour-long show. So I want you guys to be able to come home within an hour. You got the kids fed, got the husband or the wife fed, and it's off to nappy time, which is one of my favorite times of the day. I tell people all the time that I wish I could get all the nap time that I refused to take when I was a kid and take them now. I think a lot of you could agree with that. Now, one thing I do a lot, or I haven't done it in a while, but I love to do, that I can't do up here is smoke brisket. But if you want a good...
Don't allow smoking in the building.
No smoking in the building. I'm surprised that nobody's complained about us cooking cooking in here. I can guarantee they can smell it all the way down by the elevator. Especially with that window over there open. It sucks the air right out. So, take this opportunity to tell you a little bit about Axe Media Group. I'm going to tell you a little story. I'm going to take my hands off my hip. That was just kind of weird. But the story is this. 5 years ago, I get approached by Dr. Jim Whining at Dr. Paul's house because he used to go to a Bible study on Wednesdays, and it also was considered. I think at the time it was considered course points for Acts Ministry University back then, which is this is no longer that Acts Ministry University. We are revamping, redoing everything on Acts University. But I'm sitting there, and Jim says, hey, we're looking for somebody to help take over the radio, which is on axradio.com. So if you can't watch our shows in the mornings or anytime, you can listen to them live on axradio.com. And then I try to put them on as reruns. But right now we got so many on there, I've got to take some off before I can put new ones up because they take up about 20 to 30 gigs per show. Oh, wait, no, that's the video. Audio is less than that. I'm sorry about that. So we started. First thing I did was I took almost all the music off of it because it had been playing on there for far too long, and put a lot of newer music on, like, you know, Big Daddy Weave and Jars of Clay, people like that. And then it came to me, well, I should do a show. I've got the ability. We have a little studio here. Where I was living was Jay's house, which is, you seen him on the morning drive with Matt and Jay. So we did it. Starting July 7th, we started our first show, The Morning Drive with Matt and Jay. It was supposed to be, we originally were going to call it The Words in Red. And I don't know why, but The Morning Drive just stuck out to me. We changed it. And so we started doing our shows Monday through Friday. We started with a 30-minute show. And by the time we get started talking about something really good, it was time to stop. So we moved it to an hour-long show. And then our brother in Christ, little Steve Schultz, started coming on Wednesdays. And next thing you know, we're doing Facebook Live broadcasts with our phones out in his garage. And it took us a little while to get everything worked out. And then we moved everything over here to this studio, to this office building, which was at our disposal for a while, but we never used it because, you know, let's face it, I didn't want to drive all the way up here right after work. Now, I do it. I love it. So, we are at a boil right at the moment, which is good. You can see the noodles are already starting to soften up. Now, these are egg noodles. They won't grow very large. Now, if you feel like maybe, I think I may put a couple more noodles in this particular batch. I found this skillet, by the way, out underneath my camper. Never been used. So, I'm just going to sprinkle a couple more.
First, the egg or the egg noodle?
Well, it would have to be the egg noodle, right? See, because when a mama noodle and a father noodle love each other very much, they lay an egg. That was weird, wasn't it, Dennis? All right, so now, usually I would put the lid on this to let it continue, because if I had more time, I mean, I could make this last an hour and a half, just adding to and taking away. And the more the sauce, the more the liquid, the water reduces and evaporates, you're left with a lot more beef flavor. Now, I'm going to have to use this spoon. This will be my taste tester spoon here, just to see what the broth tastes like. Okay, so it's good. The broth is good, but we need some more salt. And again, I eyeball it for the most part. So if you don't like salt, don't put salt in it. Of course, pepper is good. Always add pepper to everything. If I had my hot powder, I would have been putting it in that too. Putting that in it as well. Now the hot powder consists of habaneros, jalapenos, chile piquins, which is a little bitty pepper that grows wild in Texas and in Mexico. The scorpion pepper, which is from Trinidad. They call it that because the end of the pepper curves around and looks like a scorpion stinger. It's really interesting. And also, I think it's also because I got a little bit on the corner of my mouth the first time I had it, and it felt like I got stung in the mouth by a bee. All right. 30 minutes. We may not be able to get... I should have started browning the meat sooner. So I'm not going to turn this down to a simmer. I'm going to keep it at a pretty steady boil. Anyways, we also have the Carolina Red Reaper powder in it as well. And man, it's hot. I'm just gonna say it's hot. I'm gonna go ahead and get some of this toast going.
Yay!
Now the good thing about this is, if there is just a little bit too much liquid than what you want, I'm gonna pull the microphone out from there. Sorry about that. If it's a little bit too much liquid, when you add the cream of mushroom soup, it's going to thicken up pretty much right away. I'm okay with it too. I'm okay with it being a little bit runny, because once you put a little sour cream in it, that's going to help. So the first thing you do, look at the box. Now this I do go by. $4.25. Place slices on baking sheet. I usually just get my own bread and put garlic and butter and salt on it.
Rock and roll.
Let's see what else we got here. I'm not going to use this little pan. I'm going to place these directly on the rack. These are going to be done long before.
Rack 'em.
Yeah, these are going to be done long before we get done with the stuff there. You know what? I should have put it on that.
Uh-oh.
Let me put it right here.
That'll work.
Boy, that's already smelling good, Dennis. I had a rag somewhere. Nope, can't find it. Paper towel will work just fine. Oh, there's my rag right over there. Let's go ahead and drop this right in here. It's right over there beside the computer, sir. All right, so the first thing I want to do, set it to 400 and that's 450.
Yeah, it is smelling good.
All right, so
That's mine.
just that, yeah, that section right there. This says to cook it for 4 to 5 minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of time to it. And I'll just keep an eye on it as we go. I'm not cutting up any mushrooms. That is certainly an option. You want to dice up fresh mushrooms, slice up fresh mushrooms and throw in here. I'm not a huge fan of fresh mushrooms because it tastes, I don't know, it's slimy, it's weird to me. So I'm not going to do that.
But you are a fan of cutting up.
I am a fan of cutting up. What's that joke that Dad keeps telling everybody? Hey, how do you make holy water?
I don't know.
You boil the hell out of it? And then, what's the other one? Well, a man says to his wife, hey, what would you do if I won the lottery? She said, I'll take half of it and I'll leave you. He said, good, I won $12. Here's $6. Bye. We're going to sit here and just tell all kinds of jokes. But you know what's not a joke? Is our wanting to continue to do the right thing. That is not a joke. And we need help. We just had somebody, well, I'll tell you here in a little bit, but we just had somebody donate. They donated a noticeable amount. It's a good way to put it. Again, you can see that now the starch is starting to release from the noodles. The sauce is thickening up. And then also the water is evaporating, leaving the good beef broth. And I tried looking for beef stock because it's made by bones. Oh, man. Just a taste. Go get you a spoon. You can taste the broth.
No, it'll make me hungry for too much more and I won't stop.
All right, so I'm going to do one more little. I'm going to try one of the noodles here, and some of the beef, just because I can. That is some good stuff. So, Dennis, what's your favorite joke?
Oh. Wait.
So when you said the one about the wife, it reminded me of the Abbott and Costello one,
Yeah?
where he's like, I don't want to marry a beautiful woman. And he's like, why? He said, because a beautiful woman might leave you. He says, well, an ugly woman might leave you too. He says, yeah, but who cares?
Ha! Ba-dum-bum. You used to do an Abbott and Costello bit, didn't you?
Yeah, I did a couple for Axe.
Yeah, for Axe Fest, the
Axe
banquet.
Fest, yeah.
Was that your son?
Did it with my son, yeah.
I remember, because you turned one of them into Christian, like it was a Christian based.
Yeah, it was like, who's the pastor?
Yeah,
What's the secretary?
yeah. I remember that. That was one of the first Axe Fest banquets that I went to.
Oh, cool. Didn't scare you away, so that's good.
No, but I mean, I guess if I'm going to be talking to you, it'd be good for people to hear you.
Oh,
Yeah, but then they can't see me.
I should probably go over there.
Oh, that's all right. Whatever you want to do. You can hold on to that microphone, come over here, whatever.
Or I could talk over there, and then they can hear me, but they can't see me.
Okay, so
So that's cool.
I probably shouldn't leave my phone on top of that toaster oven while it's cooking.
Phones and a toaster oven.
You still got 4 people watching. I bet you that's 4 very hungry people right at the moment.
That's the dedicated top fans right there.
Yes. We thank you guys. So one of the things we're doing is we're trying to raise money to help support autism awareness programs. We're raising money to help with the Veterans Church and the Veterans programs and just all around good programming. Programming that you can watch without having to be worried. I mean, you ain't got to worry about your kids watching us. We're always polite. We're always good. Sometimes there is some mature content in regards to when we talk about hot topics like abortion and things like that. Those are not very popular things to talk about because there's a lot of differing opinions on it. But that's what we're here for. We're here to talk to people. We're here to visit. We're here to praise and worship the Lord. We're here to bring information and gospel to you Monday through Friday morning. Now we have, let's see, what shows do we have? We have the morning drive, Monday through Friday. And then Monday after the morning drive, we have Dennis and Becky Code with the Crosswalk of Hope. And then Tuesday, we have something to celebrate after the morning drive with Matt and Jay with Tom and Amber. I'm going to add a little bit more of this broth because I don't want to let it go to waste. Of course, that makes it slow down on the boiling.
Waste not, want not.
Waste not, want not. And then Wednesday, we have the morning drive, and then that's from 8 to 9, and then from 9 to 10, we have the New Gold Standard with Tony Hammock. You guys will get to meet him at some point while we're doing this.
And he's been covering a lot of stuff, too. It's not just like about gold
Yeah,
or
no,
commodities. He's covering a lot on like stewardship.
It's about stewardship,
things
yeah.
like that. So it's well worth watching if you haven't checked it out yet.
Right. I think we're. How's our? It's not letting me close it. So we're losing some of the heat. I tell you what I'm going to do.
And that's a goal of ours, is to expand those types of things, to have more shows, more information,
Absolutely.
share. And we are very open to having different points of views and things like that. You know, Dr. Collins was talking about it earlier. You know, we're trans-denominational, trans-doctrinal. It's not, you know, our way or the highway. We're willing to have discussions with the other individuals and points of view and things like that. 'Cause,
Absolutely.
how are we going to learn? How are they going to learn if we can't talk and have an open dialogue?
Like, for instance, I am pro-gun.
Right.
I'm pro-gun. Dr. Jim Whining is not pro-gun. He's not against our Second Amendment rights, but he doesn't like guns. And he has a very differing opinion on it. He was on our show, and we talked about it. And I think it's very important, Dennis, that people see us have these conversations with someone of a differing opinion and not hate each other.
Absolutely.
Political views, you can have a political conversation with somebody and not hate each other. You just got to understand, sometimes, in the matter of the political arena and all that stuff, you have to agree to disagree sometimes.
Yeah, and there's a lot in the political realm where people want to have this division and not have people come together, whereas if you look at the different sides of the aisle, sometimes you talk about conservative, liberal, or whatever. A lot of times, wherever someone's at, they're looking at some of the same problems and wanting to fix them. They just have different ideas on how to do it. And
Right.
why can't we come together and agree on some of the problems and then find a way to find a solution, and not just go along with a party line or our group's line, and be open to a conversation.
Right?
Because then maybe we can actually solve the problem instead of keep talking about how there's a problem and nobody's fixing it.
I remember whenever gay marriage was a hot button issue,
Right?
like to set people off. People got into fights and stuff all the time. All right, so I'm catching up on our stuff. Hey, Dennis, please continue to pray for me. It's serious. I will be having tests. I'm having problems walking. That's from Steve McAllister.
Yep.
All of our prayer warriors, check it out. Please pray. Scott says, so Marshall Holland, the beef stroganoff should be done by the time you get there. Eat some for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that works, because Marshall Holland will be up there.
Yeah, she's coming up
Hello,
on the
Joe.
next show, I think. Yeah.
Save me some stroganoff, Matt. Laugh out loud. That's from Steve McAllister as well. Marcia just ate. Keto friendly. She just ate something keto friendly.
Oh, did she?
Oh. This
Oh.
is not keto friendly.
Huh. I saw she just ate, but I didn't see the keto-friendly part. Weird.
All right. Yeah, I didn't know she was on the keto diet. The keto diet is very friendly for diabetes because it's low carb, very low carb, high fat.
I know a number of individuals that are having real success with it.
Yeah, and you will. The thing about it is it has to become a lifestyle change. It can't just be a fleeting diet, because once you start, and the point of it is to get your body into a process called ketogenesis, or ketogenesis, I think,
right.
something like that. Well, anyways, what it does is when you stop eating sugar, your body has to turn around and burn the fat that you have stored in your body, or the fat that you eat, before it'll burn anything else, because it doesn't have the sugar. Usually burns the sugar first, and then it converts the carbohydrates into sugar, and then it burns that, and then it burns the fat. So essentially, people say it's like starving yourself, but not starving yourself. Doctors highly recommend it. It is a very quick way to lose weight, but again, if you stop doing it, you're going to gain that weight back even faster. So if you start a ketogenic diet, you need to make sure that that is a lifestyle change. I personally am not very good at dieting. Obviously, you see me standing here and I'm cooking 10 pounds of beef stroganoff.
Well, it took our lifestyles to get us to this shape that we're in now.
Yeah.
And that didn't happen overnight.
Round is a great shape.
Well-rounded.
Yep, well-rounded individual.
Tell your level because the bubble's in the middle.
Yep. Bubbles in the middle. Now,
Washboard stomach. Just got a full load in.
yeah, that stuff is getting good and thick now. Because, again, you want how much time we got? 37. So I'm trying to time this just right to where we can get started. What's the next show that we'll be doing there, Dennis?
Next one is going to be Acts Ministry, Acts University. So it'll be on the university. Marty Hamilton, Pam Whining, and Dennis Code, and is it?
Yeah, so we're going to have to turn all the cameras around and go
Yeah.
back that way. It's all right. We can do that.
Yep.
I might stop the show a little bit early,
Yeah, you might want a little bit of time to turn them.
turn them in to be able to have a bit to eat here.
Yep, absolutely.
So, Next thing. Sorry, that fell on the table. And I ate it.
That'll teach it.
Yep.
It's not going to do that again. I hope not, anyway.
Add the cream of chicken or cream of mushroom to taste. If you want to. The more you add, the thicker it's going to get. But it doesn't really take very much. It may not look like it, or it may look like it'll take a lot. But it really doesn't. Now, I got 2 cans, 1 for each pound, and we're going to eyeball this. Why eyeball it, you say? Well, that's just how I roll. A lot of the stuff I cook, I eyeball. Now,
It's better than filling it up with your hands. You know?
Yeah. Now, I also make a really mean chili family recipe. I'm going to turn this down to a simmer. Because I will be needing that other can. Again, now this wasn't reduced as much as I usually like it to be, but since I've only got an hour for this show, I want to make sure that you guys can see the final process. So far, man. Sorry, I get forgetful when I'm watching and seeing the food cook. Now, I'm not going to put the sour cream in here just yet, because I believe some people like it with sour cream, some people like it without sour cream, and it's good to just have that as an option rather than a requirement. Let me get my taster spoon here, because I want to make sure. I think I'm going to have to add the other can.
And for everyone that donates a specific amount, Matt will come to your house and make this personally for you. I didn't say what the specific
You
amount.
donate $400, I'll come to your house and cook you dinner.
There you go.
And it won't be beef stroganoff. It'll be the dinner of your choice. If I don't know how to cook it, I will learn.
Have them smoke a brisket.
No, yeah, that's a minimum of a 10-hour day. That's just the smoking part. That's not counting the preparation beforehand.
May have to be a $500 donation for that.
I'd do that. $500 donation, I'll come to your house. I'll smoke some meat for you. Let's go back to our Facebook. I need to go, but I will be praying for the telethon. Thank you, Steve McAllister. All right. Turn that up just a hair.
Yeah, one thing about Acts Ministry and Acts Media Group and everything they do is most of us are we're really all volunteers, so we do more with a budget that's smaller than the average churches.
We started with zero budget.
Yeah.
Look at what we've done with no budget.
Yep. So just think what we can do with a little help.
Ooh, I get by. A little help from my friend.
It's like Dr. Collins was saying earlier. He said, we've gone this far without your help.
Imagine
let's
how
see what we
far
can
we'll
do
get
with
with
it.
it. We want to make a difference in people's lives, Dennis.
Absolutely.
Not just Christianity, not just bringing them Christ, although that is our main focus.
Right?
But
More than that.
it's like, we had a benefactor that donated so much worth of equipment that lives an alternative lifestyle because he believes in what we do.
Yep.
And there's no judgment here. We try to just love on people. That's what we do. Jim Whining just walked in the door. Hey, Jim.
Hi.
He was
Can you
trying to
smell
sneak
this stuff
by.
down the hall?
All the way down to the elevator.
I told you, didn't I, Dennis? I
Yep.
told you.
You can smell it on the first floor.
Man, look at this stuff.
Wonder if they can on the 10th floor.
Well, you see this there, Jim? About a finished product?
Getting close.
You just went and ate, didn't you?
Did.
Yeah. blood sugar. All right, I'm going to turn the heat off on this. And because I ended up using both cans of the cream of mushroom soup, by the way. And you can see how thick this stuff is. What time is it?
Pretty close, I think, isn't it?
Okay, we got 10 minutes. So what I want you to do, Dennis,
Wind it up.
you hop up and you come over here, and you might want to grab a fork from over there. I think there's a fork over there in the windowsill. Of course, you can have more, but I'm just going to put some on here for you to try out. This is without the sour cream. Of course, I can't say anything about the garlic bread. I didn't make that homemade. I just put that in the toaster oven. Full disclosure, you don't have to be nice. If it tastes like crap, let me know.
Oh, I will. It's perfect.
You want to have a good full body.
Oh, it's just right. Yeah, nobody else will like that. Don't eat it.
Put the lid on it, let it cool off a bit, and of course, it'll thicken up even more as it cools off. And that would be our toast. Would you like a piece of toast?
Yes.
Okay, this is hot. Little piece of toast.
Thank you, Matt. That's really good. Don't tell anybody else, though.
Oh, I won't.
Just save it for us.
I'm gonna grab a fork too.
Oh, yeah. I should have got you one. Sorry, that was my fault. I should have got you a fork.
Sorry.
Everybody just look at our microphone and damn. Aren't they amazing?
I really wish you guys could taste this.
I'm okay with them not tasting.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry, he said. Now, I gotta add a tiny bit of sour cream to this. Because sour cream adds just enough little... Well... Oh, well. I'll wipe the fork off before I use the sour cream. It don't take much. And I'm just going to sit here, have a couple bites of this food, while you guys watch me do it. Isn't that funny? Tanner, are you in here?
If you want to watch Matt eat more food, please donate.
Yeah, please donate.
He's willing to eat more food for your enjoyment.
And if you donate $400 plus, I can teach you how to smoke meat.
There you go. That is no small feat. I
Mm-mm.
heard him talking about how he smoked it earlier. He was,
Oh, my
he's
goodness.
making our guest water at the mouth.
Huh.
Poor Tom.
Who is? Tom?
Yeah, Tom, that was you earlier.
Mm. The toast is a little bit overdone, I think, but
It's all right. I wouldn't
still
cook it
good.
anymore now.
mm-mm,
That's good.
probably already still cooking. Yep, it sure is.
Oh, there's a Schultz that joined us.
Steve Schultz?
Yeah. I don't know. He goes by Philip on here.
Yep. Philip Schultz?
Yep.
Philip Steven?
That's the guy.
Of course. Always make sure everything's turned off. This is turned off. I could leave it on simmer or warm, but maybe it'll be gone. What I like to do is I like to take the beef stroganoff, put it on the bread. You ever done that,
Oh, yeah.
Dennis?
Yep.
And you just bite off the chunks that's got the beef stroganoff on it. So good.
That is a really professional way to do it.
Mm.
Highly recommend
So that's the first cooking show. Second, actually. We did the one this morning. Oh, man, this is so good.
it. Did you do on the? Oh, is that what you did this morning?
Mm-hmm. Cooked sausage and eggs in a basket, or they called them chicken.
23
Bird's
minutes
nest.
long?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They called them bird's nests. Some people do.
All right. I'll put that under the playlist.
But it's eggs in a basket. We might do something again tomorrow morning. So that's about it. That's all I got. So we made beef stroganoff. This is enough for a family of 4 or 5, or a family of 2 of Dennis and Matt.
Just Dennis and Matt, 2 people. Good.
Yep. We're gonna get the next show ready, and then we're gonna start letting people come in here and have a little bit of this. Oh yeah.
Yep. Time to switch to the next show.
Oh,
Bye, guys. We love you.
I gotta go around and turn it off.
Oh, yeah, you got to go turn it off. This has been Life in a Toaster Oven with your host, Matt Peterson. Tune in next week when you hear